มันจะ string វាមិនជាអីបងតោះនិយាយអត់ទេ
បានឧទាហរណ៍តែឧទាហរណ៍បើយើងឧទាហរណ៍បើវាមានតែ5លេខអញ្ចឹងយើងអាចដាក់វាជា matrix បានលោកគ្រូ
វាបើសិនជាមានតែ5លេខ
បាទ
ខ្ញុំគិតថាអត់បានព្រោះតែបើយើងនិយាយពី definition របស់ matrix វាគួរតែជា matrix ដែលមានរាង 2x2 2x3 3x4 នេះចឹងទៅឬក៏1 row 1 column ថតលុះត្រាតែដូចយើងនិយាយថា5 element លុះត្រាយើងដាក់ថាមកrow ស្មើ1 row ប៉ុន្តែដល់ពី column ស្មើ5អូខេដាក់បានតែបើសិនយើងដាក់ថា column ស្មើcolumn ស្មើ1 row ស្មើ5អូខេដាក់បានមានថា first row 5 column first column 5 row ថត
បាទលោកគ្រូបាទអរគុណច្រើនលោកគ្រូតន
អូខេនិយាយទៅបើតើតោះ mathematics ខ្ញុំពេលខ្លះក៏អាចភ្លេចខ្ញុំក៏អត់សូវចាំ 100% ដែរប៉ុន្តែបើយើងនិយាយពី program យើងសរសេរ code វាមានតែ base ទៅលើដូចខ្ញុំនិយាយមិញតើអត់វាមានតែ1 row ឬក៏1 column តើអត់តែបើនិយាយពី matrix ជាក់ស្ដែងហ្មងដូចជាវាអាចមាន 2 by 3ហើយបាត់មួយ element នេះទៅតែបើសិនជាអាចចំប្រាប់ផងព្រោះតែខ្ញុំមើលទៅខ្វះចំណុចណាមួយដែរ Okay. So hello everyone, come back to our course and we're going to continue from last time. And today I would like to inform you that we just finished on this course only, and after that on the next week I will go into the algorithm. So from last time we have on the part on the measuring the central tendency. So that means the means and the median value. So I'm going to scroll it back there. We have already explored that case, the SDO command, another summary command, measuring the central tendency, mean and median. We have already explored it. Okay, so we have arriving here. So measuring spread and quartile and the 5 number summary. So the mean and the median is a statistic method that we can use to explore our data, and with that two indicator we can it gives us like the information that we can judge on our data. However, we cannot fully understand on our data. We need another measurement on the data that we call the spread, because the spread will give you on how you can measure the diversity on the data, and then we can know how tightly or loosely on the value of our data. That's why we need the 5 spread summary. And the 5 number summary, the minimum, the first one is the minimum, the second one is the first quartile, the third is the median, or we can say the quartile 2, second quartile, third quartile, and the last one is the maximum. So what are those information that we got from, actually from the summary function we can have those value already. So we're gonna see how the first quartile and the third quartile. So the minimum and maximum are the most extreme features value, indicating the smallest and the largest value respectively. So in R, you can check on the min function and the max function, which it can use to calculate on this value on the vectors. And if you want to check on the difference between the maximum and the minimum, you can use another function in R program called rank. No, sorry, not the difference. It is just the rank value, which means that you will apply the vectors of a numeric data, and you apply this rank function, and then it's gonna give you the minimum and the maximum value. So if you want to check the difference, you can add a different function. You just apply the different function on the rank function, and then it will give you the inter value between the maximum and the minimum. Just example like here. Okay. So here. So we have explored two already, the minimum and the maximum. So now we're gonna check on the first quartile and the third quartile. The first and the third quartile refer to the value below or above which 1/4 of the value are found. It's like you the first quarter is the data set that is under the median of the whole data set, and the third quarter the first quarter is the median of the data below the median of the whole data set, and the third quarter is also a median of the data set at the upper half of the median of the whole data set. So you will see on that, along with the Q2 median, the quartile, divide a data set into 4 portions. So the word quartile refers to 4 portions, each portion with the same numbers and value. Quartile are a special case of a type of statistic called quantile, which are numbers that divide the data into equally sized quantity. So as you can see here, in addition to quartile, commonly used quantile include tertile, 3 part, quintile, 5 part, or decile, 10 part. And also we can use like percentile, 100 part. So the quartile here is the 4 part, which means that we divide our data into a 4 part equally. Okay. And percentile are often used to describe the ranks of the value. Just an example here. A student who test score was ranked at 99 percentile. It can be like equal to the 99% of the rest of the data. So you can say it's the 90% percentile or the 99% percentage of the rest of the data. And actually, in this data, most of the tasks they are interested on the 50% on the in the rank of the first quartile and the third quartile. That they call the middle percent of the data between the first and the third quartile is of particular interest. That they call it interquartile rank, because it is in itself it in itself is a simple measure of the spread. So normally the data they are interested in the rank in the first quartile and third quartile, and that they call interquartile rank. And in R, you can apply this function IQR to get the ranks data between the first quartile and the third quartile. So here, you can try on the R command, the R function. If you apply IQR here, you will see this is the interquartile rank of the data. So you can calculate this by hand based on the summary function. This is the value. You might see it a little bit different because the summary function is going to round the data into the integer number. So that's why you will see interquartile rank different by 0.5.
I see the same picture.
The quantile function provides a robust tool to identify quantile for a set of value. By default, the quintile function returns 5-number summary. So if you can try the quantile function here. So for example, like here, you can test that. This is a summary function. When I apply it, it will apply the 5 splits, the minimum, the first quartile, the median, mean, third quartile, and the maximum. However, if you use the quantile on the vectors, on the vector price, so it will automatically apply you the fourth. Actually, it's not 4, it's 5, but it's discount from the minimum, the 25% on the lower half of the first quartiles. The 50% is the second quartile or the median. The 25% or 75% under the third quartile, and the 100%. So you can apply this way, quantile for the vector price of our data set, and then you have a parameter property which is equal to a vector that you determine which position maybe 0.01, which means that the first percent of the data and the 99% of the data. Okay, and you can also apply this quantile with the sequence from 0 to 1, between from 0 to 100, this one, by 0.20. So it's gonna split your data in this part. Okay, that's how the quantile works. Here, I want to specify again on the first and the third quartile. So the first quartile, the lower half of a data set is the set of all values that are to the left of the median value when the data has been put into increasing order. So when you have your data is not in order, so you have to arrange it in order first, and then the first quartile is the lower half of the data from the median in the full data set. The upper half of data set is the set of all values that are to the left. Sorry, I think this one should be to the right. This one should be to the right of the median. Value when the data has been put into the increasing order. Increasing order. Yeah, it's gonna be to the right, not to the left. Sorry, this one should be to the right. The first quartile denoted by Q1, yes, you know already, is the median of the lower half of the data set. This means that about 25% of the numbers in the data set lie below Q1, and about 75% lie above Q1. And in contrast, the third quantile, denoted by Q3, also the median of the upper half of the data, and 75% of the data are below the third quantile, and 25% lie above the third quantile. So here, Can anybody tell me what is Q1 and what is Q2, Q3? Hello? Hello? Pú Dương Liêm vậy?
Lư được rồi, lư.
Ok,
Lư
trong
được khổ.
còn miền này là đang các Q1 and Q3 smart man.
Q1 đôi có chẳng tự dùng kịch và hai kịch khổ.
Ok, lên xuống hai chú sạn là nó gì? Khuôn sụ phí. Hello? Hello? Ở slide. Kê nhụ đứng. Vậy. Q1 cái gì kì?
Nhưng xem tích được rồi. Q1 cái ta 8 được rồi.
So anybody can tell me what is Q1 and what is the value of Q1? Chia Darika, hello, are you here?
Yes, teacher.
So can you tell me what is Q1 and what is the value of Q1?
Q1 is a lower half, right, teacher?
And what is its name?
The number first quantile.
Quantile.
Yes, first
Okay.
quantile.
Yeah, so the Q1 refer to the first quartile of the data, and based on our data we had, so what is the value of the Q1?
Right, teacher?
No, that's not correct. So anybody can answer?
Can I try to answer?
5.75.
5.75.
5.75.
I don't think so. Actually, the Q1 is the lower half data, the full data, the lower half data set. However, it's not the. It is actually the median of the lower half. It's not the data itself. So you just know how to calculate the median. I think it should be correct. So for example, here, our median quartile 2 is the median of the whole data set. And the quartile 1 should be the median of the lower half data set. So which means that we take these two, sum it together and divide by 2. So I think 6 gonna be the value of the quantile 1. Is that so?
Isn't the median is the one which is in the middle?
Yeah, but actually we don't have the one in the middle. So you have to choose two of them, one or two of them, one,
We
5 and 7.
actually we have to share because median we think it 50%, and the minimum is 0. So the middle of 0 to 50% is 25. So 12 is the median and 3 is the mean, and the middle number is 7. So you know
How you
what
can
I mean?
connect middle, the actual data, 3, 5, 7, 8. Which one?
No, it's I don't think it's in terms of the value itself, but the position.
So which means that it is the position of 5, 2, right? 0, 1. This is 2, and this is the 3.
Yes. That's
So that
okay.
means 2 plus 3 divided by 2 equal to what? Equal to 2.5.
No. My answer here is the first quantile is number 7. Because its position is in the middle between 3 and 12.
So okay, actually, let me explain. Actually, when you have this the data set you have. So if you consider about the position, it might not be correct. So when we had this data set, we put it in order from the lowest to the highest. And the data which is in the middle that we call the median, right? So in this case, you have only 4 data set on the lower half, which means that you cannot find the middle one. However, you can have like the left one position, one data set here. You can on the right one data set here. So which means your middle is the 5 and the 7. So in this case, you have to sum this together and divide by 2. So this is just a common calculation of the median. So it's going to be 6. Okay, and this is also the same. You have upper half data, which means you have 4 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So which means there is no the middle data. So you have to take 14 plus 18 and divide by 2. Okay, that is how you calculate the median. So Q1 is the quartile 1, Q3 is the quartile 3, and Q1 is a median in the lower half data, and Q3 also the median on the upper half data. Okay.
លោកគ្រូខ្ញុំចង់សួរចុះឧទាហរណ៍បើយើងសិនជាយើងមានលេខ10ខ្ទង់មួយលោកគ្រូ
Yeah.
ច្រើនដូចច្រើនចឹងលោកគ្រូ
ដូចអីគេ
និយាយទៅអាហ្នឹងដូចកាត់យកទៅកណ្ដាលតើហើយកណ្ដាលវាជាមេយ៉ានបន្ទាប់មកបែងចែកជាពីរទៀតអាមួយ lower half អាមួយ upper half ចឹង
ហ្នឹងហើយ
តែសំខាន់ដល់ពេលច្រើនហ៎ពេលច្រើនយើងធ្វើចឹង
Butពេលច្រើន Okay, let's see ពួកយើងអត់តន់យើងមើលចេះអត់ទៅខ្ញុំដាក់ថាtest data ខ្ញុំថាស្មើជាមួយនឹង vector ទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងជា vector ទាំងអស់យើងបញ្ចូល vector របស់យើង 3 7 8 Okay,ចូលទៅខ្ញុំ test data គឺឃើញ vector របស់យើងឧទាហរណ៍ថាឥឡូវខ្ញុំចង់ apply គេនេះដល់ពេលដែលយើងវាយទៅវា auto អារ៉ែងឲ្យយើងណាអូខេឥឡូវយើងសង្កេតគណនី median នៃ test data វាប្រកាសជាឃើញយើង miss data 3 7 8អូបាត់ 5 sorry ចាំមើលឃើញ 12.5
លោកគ្រូកន្លែងតំណឹងបើសិនជាយើង assign value ឲ្យវា2 ដងអញ្ចឹងអាចាស់មានន័យថាវា override ចោលហើយមែន
Yes យើងអាចវាយចឹងបានYeah 3 7អូនេះវាអត់ rank ឲ្យយើងទេអូខេ3 7 8 5ប៉ុន្តែដល់ពេលយើង apply median ពី12ហ្នឹងដោយសារតែចំនួនលេខនេះវាសេស1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9អញ្ចឹងយើងឃើញលេខ12នៅកណ្ដាលគេបើពេលដែលយើង rank data ហ្នឹងទៅវា rank ពីតូចទៅធំប៉ុន្តែបើសិនជាយើងដាក់ quartile first quartile ដូចជាមានជាពាក្យ quantile and test dataលេខ3លេខ5លេខ3លេខ7ហ្នឹងវាមិនមែនជា median ទេវាគឺជាលេខនៅទីតាំង position 25%
Yes, teacher.
ប៉ុន្តែបើយើងកណនា median ឲ្យចំវាគួរតែយក5 បូក 7 ចែកនឹង2ព្រោះតែយើងកណនាតែឥឡូវអូខេខ្ញុំធ្វើមួយទៀតខ្ញុំតែ data ខ្ញុំ underscore លេខ1ខ្ញុំស្មើជាមួយនឹងC value ដែលយើងចែកពាក្យកណ្ដាលអញ្ចឹង value ពាក្យកណ្ដាលរបស់យើងគឺ3 5 7ហើយ8អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំ apply median នៃ test underscore data underscore 1អញ្ចឹងមានថាលេខ7លេខ3ហ្នឹងមិនមែនជា median ទេលេខ7លេខ3នេះវាគ្រាន់តែជាតម្លៃដែលនៅទីតាំង position នៃ 25% នៃ data ប៉ុន្តែ median ជាក់ស្ដែងគឺ6 Okay so from this data the 3 and the 7 and 12 are only the numbers on the 25 position. It is not actually the median. However, to calculate the real median, you can try as I'm trying here. This is our lower half data. This is the lower half. And we try up to apply the median function here. So which means it gives value 6. So as I said, the median would be the value in the middle. However, our data point only 4. We don't have the middle one. So we'll take the 5 and 7 sum together and then divide by 2. Okay, អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំសូម skip ប៉ុណ្ណឹង So let's move on. Okay. So another part on our managing and understanding data is the visualizing numeric variable. So visualizing numeric variable can be helpful in the diagnosing data problem. A common visualization of a file number summary is box plot. So when you use the box plot, it also indicates the file spread number. A box and whisker plot. The box plot displays the centers and spread of a numeric variable in a format that allows you to quickly obtain a sense of the rank and scope of a variable or compare to other variable. So you can take a look. We can try to apply the box plot function, which is here. So to apply the box plot, let's just see to do it here. Yeah. Okay. Let's say we can try it if you want. In order to apply the box plot, firstly you have to install the package. I forgot to tell you. Actually, I did install it. You have to install the Gmodel function, I guess. Gmodel function. Yep. when you apply the Gmodel function and then you use that model, and then you can apply the buck plot. To install that, you have to write this way: install.package, and like this, Gmodel. Okay. When you install it ready, you have to try a library, yeah, and Gmodel with S. Okay. After you try that, we can use the buck plot function. Okay.
លោកគ្រូសូមម្ដងទៀតគ្រូសូមកន្លែង install
Okay, ពួកយើងត្រូវ install package ហ្នឹងសិន ដើម្បី install បានពួកយើងត្រូវ install .package ហើយយើងវាយដាក់ថា Gmodel ខ្ញុំ install ហើយហើយយើង install ម្ដងទៀតនៅពេលដែលយើង install ហើយគឺយើងត្រូវតែ use library ហ្នឹងដើម្បី use គឺយើងប្រើ library ហើយយើងហៅ Gmodel អូខេ ចឹងពេលខ្ញុំហៅ Gmodel បានហើយខ្ញុំអាចប្រើ buck plot try as the command in slide use car $price and you put the main. This is for the label of the x-axis equal to buck plot of used car price. Okay, and the y label equal to price in dollars. Okay, here when I enter it come here. See, this is the axis, sorry, the y-axis. This is the axis. Actually, you just put the y-axis, and you just put the label of your diagram, and then the y label here. Mình là cái sai ọt trên nhật đấy. Hello.
លោកគ្រូវងតែគ្រូវងតែ
ពួកយើងបានដឹងថានៅក្នុងមុខវិជ្ជារបស់ពួកយើងគឺមាន quiz 2 ដងខ្ញុំអត់មាន midterm ទេហើយយើងមាន final ម្ដងហើយមួយទៀតតទៅនឹង lead presentation ខ្ញុំបាន divide ហើយនៅក្នុង list ដែលប្រធានថ្នាក់យើងគាត់ដាក់ Marilyn អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំភ្លេចឈ្មោះគាត់ឯងជឿស្រាយអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងពួកយើងឃើញអីគឺ e-sign ពួកយើងមានឈ្មោះហើយស្រាប់សម្រាប់ដែរ concern Indonesia ខ្ញុំបានដាក់ហើយដែរនៅសល់តែ Sub Master ខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់ដាក់ប្រហែលជាសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយខ្ញុំដាក់ឈ្មោះទៅដោយសារតែយើង present ចាប់ពីសប្តាហ៍មួយទៀតទៅអូខេពួកយើង install ចេញអត់ទេ
ផងព្រោះបងខ្ញុំចេញ not found បាទលោកគ្រូ
លោកគ្រូអាច copy code install នឹងដាក់ចូល chat ហ្នឹងគ្រូពេលខ្លះ share អត់ទាន់
ខ្ញុំ copy បានលោកគ្រូនៅធ្វើបាន
ទេតែ
នេះគ្រូ install បានហើយលោកគ្រូ
Okay, the first thing you have to do is to install. You just tap install and tap. Oh, sorry, install dot and tap. So you have to put the word packages and double quote here or single quote and Gmodel with S. So you install the Gmodel graphics, this one. When you install it, actually I did install it and I can do again. Okay. After you install it, you have to use that function. So you call the library, okay, and Gmodel. Okay. okay, which means you call that library to use, and then you apply the function as I did here. You will have a new graphic here. Okay. So the same thing, you just change the price data to the mile-x for our data set. Ông tiền net that for bank hay chỉ admin use car data thì nó bây giờ đó. So checks on your R session. You have to check your R session. Just put like ls and like this. So you will have data. For me, I have like test data 1 and use car, which from last time I save it in my computer. I haven't cleared it. So the use car is our data set that we import from last week. So I put it there, I keep it there. I haven't changed, I haven't deleted. So that when you try that T-model package, you can plot a diagram. So again, let's do the buck plot on the mile-x, and the main is gonna be like buck plot of used car mile-x.
I got it, teacher.
Okay, and then we put like odometers, my. Okay, here. So now I got this plot again. So when we use the buck plot, what is the diagram mean to us? So
lúc hồi anh nói ai đặt VP cho này bạn.
I never tried that. You can try it to say if there is a solution for that. Nhưng mà đại sản đấy, dương ảnh sản mới tới bữa sân gì ảnh bán.
Thế mà dương sát dương đặt việc mình tới là khủng.
Hai chế search với command với thám của thầy được sao bởi những những vị trí introduction to R.
Bạn được con lực.
Nhưng ai có hai chế search cho một hơi để tận được A program sort á. Okay. Jung, I'm sorry, please, moment, please. I'm sorry. Hello guys. Okay, let's continue here. So from here, from the buck plot, what does this data or this graph tell us about? So the buck and Viscous plot depicts the 5-number summary, which means that this buck plot represents a 5-number summary. That it is using the horizontal lines and dot. So this horizontal line gonna define our 5-value numbers, 5-number summary, and also this dots data. The horizontal line, the horizontal line forming the box in the middle of each figure represent Q1, Q2, the median, and Q3, while reading the plot from the bottom to the top. So, okay, let's say here, from the bottom line to the top line, it defines our 5-number summary, and this line gonna be the minimum value and this one gonna be the maximum, but actually the maximum is here, the maximum value of the malate, and the dark line here represent the median of our data, and this line also represent the median of our first quartile, and this line also represent the median of the third quartile. Okay, so what is this dot data, this dot point? So we're gonna go to the next part. Okay, this is the same as I have explained. You can read it more. Oh, it's in here, right?
Teacher លោកគ្រូសូមគ្រូជួបយកកន្លែងបោះប្លន់ម្ដងទៀតលោកគ្រូមិញខ្ញុំចាប់អត់ចូលលោកគ្រូសូមម្ដងទៀតលោកគ្រូ
កន្លែងបោក plot នេះមានន័យថាបោក plot នេះគឺវានឹង summary វានឹងបង្ហាញពី file number summary របស់យើង scatter spread ដែលយើងនិយាយមានអីគេមាន maximum មាន minimum first quartile second quartile third quartile ហើយនឹង maximum ប៉ុន្តែ second quartile យើងគឺជាអីគេ second quartile វាគឺជា median អញ្ចឹងនៅ median របស់យើងគឺ represent ដោយ dark horizontal line
ចង់និយាយថា Q2 ហ្នឹងmedian គឺផ្ទាត់ពណ៌ខ្មៅនេះឯងលោកគ្រូ
Yeah
អូខេ
គឺជា median នៃ data បន្តមកទៀតline បន្ត line នឹងក្រុមគេទាំងអស់នេះមានន័យថាវាគឺជា minimum នេះគឺជា median ដែរនេះតែ median នៃ first quartile ហើយនេះក៏ជា median ដែរគឺជា median នៃ third quartile ហើយ the maximum is here ប៉ុន្តែតាមពិតមែនតើជាក់ស្ដែង data យើង maximum នោះនេះអញ្ចឹងdot នេះវាបង្ហាញពី outlier data this dot point is defined as an outlier data. So actually, how can we define this dot is outlier data? Let me check my slide a bit. I think I just made a new one, but it missed. Let me check a bit. Sorry. Okay, I think it's fine here. Just I will explain you. So please note that for the dot point here, in our program, it already defined a threshold on how to calculate the interested data and not interested data point. And the not interested data point that we call outliers is normally defined by the threshold and with the interquartile rank. So in this case, for example, why we plot here as the maximum value and the data out of this rank is the outlier, because it's gonna take the the interquartile, sorry, the quartile number, the quartile 3, which means the median of the third quantile minus with 1.5 multiple with the interquartile rank. So if the data, plus with the interquartile rank. So if the data point that over this number, it's gonna be the outlier data on the upper part. Okay, and for the lower part, as like in our model here, okay, this is the lower part. So we're gonna take the the value of the interquartile rank minus with 1.5 multiplied by the interquartile one. If the data lower than this number, it's gonna be the outlier data on the lower part. Okay, that is how we determine the outlier data. And when we note that there is an outlier or there are an outlier data, which means that the mean and the median gonna be far different from each other. Or maybe we can say that when we calculate the mean and the median, and we see that the mean is far different from the median, which defines that there might be an outlier data in our data set. This is the point that we determine. And the next part, okay, two-way cross tabulation. So another part that how we examine the relationship of the two nominal variable or to checks on the category data. To examine a relationship between two nominal variable, a two-way cross table is used. Which means that we use two-way cross table to apply on the nominal variables, also known as cross tab or contingency table. It allows the researchers to examine how the value of one variable vary by the value of another. When you try to use two-way cross table, which means that we try to see if one variable of our dataset is dependent or maybe affected by the other variable. The format is a table in which the row the format is a table in which the row are the levels of one variable, while the column are the level of another. Count in each the table cells indicate the numbers of values falling into the particular rows and column combination. So in order to use cross table, you have to install the package Gmodel. Actually, we did install it already. So which in that case, we can just use that function cross table. Okay, here. This is the loading library. I did tell you already. You will need to do this during our session, okay? You will need to do this during our session in which you plan on using the cross table function. So right now we, I'm sorry, please wait a bit. Okay, let's move on. So in this case, we want to try to apply the cross table on our categorical data, which is the UCAR dataset on the features, color, and also the model of the car. Which means that we want to try to see if the color is depend on the features model of the car, of the used car. So this, let's go back to simplify the projects on example used car dataset by reducing the numbers of level in color variable. This variable has 9 levels, but suppose that we are interested in is whether or not the car color is conservative. Toward this end, we will divide the 9 color into 2 groups. Okay. So the first group we're gonna have like the black one, gray, silver, and white. The second group include the color blue, gold, green, red, and yellow. We create a binary indicator variable, often called the dummy variable. Indicators that whether or not the car color is conservative by our definition. Sorry. So in this case, if you apply that dummy variable, it will give you like, if it's true, it will give you 1 if it is true and 0 otherwise. So you can try this variable, this command on the program, and then let's see the output of the created variable. So in here, we put the use car, and we create another features called conservative equal to the use car dollar color okay, in the vectors of the first group, black, gray, silver, and white. Okay, so and then let's see our use car data by now. So here, so right now, from the last time, our data haven't has the feature called conservative, and we create a dummy feature that called conservative, which represent that if the color is in our first group, this command to check that if our color in the dataset use car in this vector, which means that the color is the color black, gray, silver, or white. If that's true, it's gonna be if it is equal 1, it's gonna give you like true and false. So the yellow is not in our vector, so it's gonna be false. The gray one, true. The silver one, true. So this is the response based on our record. Oh. No, this one, no, the command. Okay. Next up, you can try also use the table function and on the feature conservative. The table and the word. Some not reduce current dataset on the feature conservative. Okay, so this is gonna summarize for you is that there is a 51 use car which is not in our group car with the color black, gray, silver, or white. But there are 99 use car which are in the colors of black, gray, silver, and white. So we're going to continue for that. Here, okay, next up. Now let's look at a cross tabulation to see the proportion of conservative color car vary by the model. Since we are assuming that the model of the car indicate the choice of color, so we will treat the conservative color indicator as the dependent variable. So now you guys can try cross table with variable x equal to used car model, and the y variable would be the used car conservative. So we can try that. Cross table x equal used car model, and y variable equal to used car conservative. Okay, here. So you can now follow me here. So this is our cross table data. Okay. So on the left hand side, that we put the label on the model. This is the model of the modeled childhood element. Hello.
ខ្ញុំ copy code ហ្នឹងមកដាក់ទៅវាថា cross table function ហ្នឹងអត់ not fine.
Okay, before you use cross table, make sure that you install the G model packages, and then you load the model G model. Load the library G model. I'm sorry. So as I did last time, and then before you apply this cross table here, you have to create a conservative variable. Okay. In order to create that from this part, this is how we create a conservative variable on the used car color, which are in this vector or not.
ខ្ញុំដឹងខយគេលោកគ្រូមកពីខ្ញុំផ្លិចហៅអា G model អីហ្នឹងមកប្រើហើយលោកគ្រូឡើងចេញវិញ
All right. So from that one, so on the left hand side here, you will see the SE. The SE is the model of our used car. So you might see from that data set. This is our data set. We have year, we have model, we have price, we have mileage, we have color. So for example, like this is the SEL model, and it has the car with the color yellow, example like that. And the model SE, it has the car with the color silver. Okay. And here,
ខ្ញុំមិនអាចរាំ command cross table បានទេគ្រូថា cross table function is not found
មាន load G model ហ្នឹង
មានគ្រូមាន install រួចហើយ
load វានៅ load library ហ្នឹងនៅ
load រួចបងហើយខ្ញុំ load រួចម្ដងហើយគ្រូ
To load, I have to just like library like this and G model អញ្ចឹងនៅ
បាទគ្រូ
ហើយនៅតែអត់ឃើញទៀត
អត់ឃើញ
មាន variable use car នេះអត់
មានគ្រូខ្ញុំ
conservative
ហើយ
មានអស់ហើយ
មានអស់ហើយគ្រូ
យើងជួយគេទៅ
load ហ្នឹងមែន load បាទគ្រូហើយ cross table ត load ម្ដងទៀតគ្រូចេញហើយគ្រូ
ចេញណា
ចេញហើយគ្រូចេញហើយ
អូខេចេះជួនកាលពេលយើង install លើ computer class លើ computer class វាឲ្យយើង select យក crank domain ដូចជាយើងនៅកាណាដាយើងនៅអីចឹងណាតាមខ្ញុំគិតណាអញ្ចឹងដូចជាយើងរើសមួយណាដែលវា available សម្រាប់ install ពេលយើង install .package ហ្នឹង Okay, so when you install the Gmodel package, some computers version or the OS might ask you to choose the crank domain, I think. So you have to select the correct one, and then you can install it in your R console or R program. So come back to here. These are the model of our data, and these are the conservative. And we also have the row total here and the column total here. So what are these numbers? This is the numbers of the actual car, used car with the model we have SE here, given that it is not the conservative car. That the car with this model having 27 car which are not in the color of black, white, gray, and silver. However, with this model, there are 51 car which is the conservative, which the car in the colors of blacks, white, silvers, gray, etc. Which means that the first group of our divided group. So similarly, the SEL model has only the 7 car and the 16 car, and the SES model with the 17 car and the 32 car on the conservative. So relatively, this value is the chi-square statistic method that it used to define on how one features depend on another features, and this value are the percentage of the data which have comparing to the rest of the data. For example, on this data, the model with the 0.65, we can say that 65% of the SE car model are conservative, comparing to the nearly 70% of the SEL car model, and also compared to the 65% of the model of the car model with SES that are conservative. However, from this value, we see that it is not highly different. So we think it might not depend on the model that the car could be conservative or not. And these other data would be the first quartile and the third quartile. I'm sorry, the first quartile and the third quartile. So we will see on the detail here. Okay, these are the description that I put it on our data that we had, as I have explained. The legend on the top and also the row just on that part. And also here. Okay, let's continue on here. The row proportion tell us that this is what I have mentioned. 65% of SE car are color or conservative. Conservatively in comparison to the 70% of SEL car model, and also the 65% of the SES car model. These differences are relatively small, suggesting that there are no substantial differences in the type of color chosen by the model of the car. So in this case, it means that if we choose the car model, it's not means that the color would be conservative, which means that any kind model of the car could be conservative for the color. Also, the chi-square value refer to the cell contribution in the Pearson chi-square test for independent between two variables. So in this part, I would suggest that you might try to search on the internet to study again on the chi-square, and it might be more understandable for the detail on the chi-square. This temperature, this test, I mean the chi-square test, is to measure how likely it is that the difference in the cell count in the table is due to the change alone. It means that the chi-square test is to see how the feature can relate to another features. It's like it depends on another feature or not. As the result, we have assumption that the car model, the color of the car is not. It might not be depend on the car model. It means that every car model can be conservative, which means that any kinds of car model can be in the colors of black, white, silver, or gray. So, which means that our color model is not depend on the model of the car. And to see that more, you can try to put the parameter chi-square, chi-q equal true when you call the cross table. So in this case, you will see another three value here, that the Pearson chi-square test gonna give you the result, the chi-square here, and df here is we call the degree of freedom equal to, and also this one is we call p-value. Okay, so in this case, if you can see that if the p-value is high, which means that our variable, the color and the model of the car are independent, which means that it is not depend on each other. As I mentioned that if the car model in SE, it might be conservative. If the car in SEL, it also conservative, which means that the car can be gray, black, or white, or silver. And you might be check more on how to calculate on chi-square, because this one it might be a little bit you have to check a bit because it's on the statistic formulation. And degree of freedom here. Degree of freedom is to calculate from our data here. So numbers of row minus 1 multiplied by the numbers of column minus 1. So 3 row minus 1 equal 2, 2 column minus 1 equal 1. 1 multiplied by 2 is going to be 2 degrees of freedom. And also the p-value, you might check it again on that. Okay, so that's going to be the final part of our chapter 2, that the understanding and managing our data before we go into the algorithm and also apply the algorithm on the data set. So to summary, we have explored a real-world data set containing data on a used car prices, and we also have examined the numeric variable by using the summary statistics, also the measurement on the central tendency. And the last one, we have tried to understand the nominal variable by using cross tabulation. So, okay, and that's all for our chapter 2. And do you have any question on that? Or any point that you misunderstand, you can ask again. Bây giờ đó cái ton nhung vậy đó. Hello ពួកយើងបើសិនជាមានចង្អល់ឯងអាចសួរបានហើយមួយទៀតមេរៀនទី2យើងនឹងចប់ត្រឹមប៉ុណ្ណឹង Hello
Teacher, I have some point that not clear.
ម្ដងសូមឲ្យលឺតិចខ្ញុំអត់សូវលឺ
Okay, I have some point that I haven't clear about it yet. So it's about how we can define the outlier data and in the data. Can you talk about them again?
ឥឡូវតាមពិតខ្ញុំមាន slide ដែលខ្ញុំធ្វើហើយប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំចាប់អារម្មណ៍ថាខ្ញុំបានទៅជាដាក់បញ្ចូលប៉ុន្តែដល់ពេល save ទៅ data ទៅខ្ញុំមើលទៅបាត់កន្លែងមួយចំណុចហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែអត់ទេខ្ញុំអាចប្រាប់យើងបានកន្លែងហ្នឹងគឺអញ្ចឹងដើម្បីការគីកន្លែង outlier គឺយើងត្រូវមាន threshold មួយហើយ by default threshold ដែលកំណត់ដោយ air program ហ្នឹងគឺ 1.5 បងណាអញ្ចឹងអាកន្លែងនេះឧទាហរណ៍ថានេះជា data ដែលវា outlier ឥឡូវយើងគិតមើលនេះគឺជា upper part នៅលើset quantile ទៅអត់អញ្ចឹងពេលហ្នឹងយើងត្រូវគណនាចំនួនមានថាយើងត្រូវយកតម្លៃរបស់inter quartile so let me think a bit យើងត្រូវយកតម្លៃរបស់នេះបើសិនជា median នៅចន្លោះនេះអូខេយើងបូកជាមួយនឹងអូខេអញ្ចឹងមានថាយើងយក third quantile បូកជាមួយនឹង inter quantile rank គុណនឹង 1.5 អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជា data ណាដែលវាធំជាង third quantile បូកជាមួយនឹង inter quantile rank គុណនឹង 1.5 គឺវាជា outlier data នៅ upper part តោះណាទេ Hello
Yes
អូខេខ្ញុំសូមនិយាយខ្មែរហ្នឹងតោះទៀតដូចកន្លែងនេះយើងឃើញ lower part នេះមានន័យថាគឺយើងត្រូវយក first quartile ដកជាមួយនឹង 1.5 គុណនឹង inter quartile អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជា data ណាដែលវាតូចជាង value ហ្នឹងគឺវាជា outlier data នៅ lower part
Okay but
let's see sorry ដូចជាយក inter quantile ដកជាមួយនឹង first quantile គុណនឹង 1.5 មានរូបមន្តគេកន្លែងហ្នឹងខ្ញុំ check មួយ slide ខ្ញុំតិចសិនខ្ញុំអត់ remember ប៉ុន្តែគ្រាន់តែចង់បញ្ជាក់ពួកយើងថាកន្លែងហ្នឹងគឺគេមានរូបមន្តមកគេដើម្បីបញ្ជាក់ពួកយើងអាចតាមពិតពួកយើងអាច search មើល internet ថែមទៀតក៏បានដែរអត់បញ្ហាទេហើយ 1.5 ដែលខ្ញុំនិយាយហ្នឹងគឺជា default មួយប៉ុន្តែជាក់ស្ដែងពេលយើងធ្វើការលើ research data របស់យើងថាតើយើងចង់យកប៉ុន្មានជា outlier យើងមាន reason អីដែលយើងយក 1.5 វាអាចមានសំណួរគេសួរចឹងដែលយើងដាក់ threshold 1.5 តោះវាហើយរូបមន្តវាអត់មានបាយទេគ្រាន់តែមើលតែ internet ក៏វាឃើញដែរប៉ុន្តែនៅពេលដែលគេសួរ reason ហ្នឹងបានសំខាន់ហើយជាក់ស្ដែងនៅលើ data របស់យើងពេលយើងធ្វើការគឺសំខាន់ជាងគេគឺបើយើងកំណត់ថាប៉ុណ្ណឹង outlier សួរ reason ហើយយើងថាវា outlier អញ្ចឹងវាយោងទៅតាម reason អីផ្សេងវាមិនមែនយោងទៅតាមអ្វីដែលបញ្ជាក់ថា 1.5 ហ្នឹងឯងប៉ុន្តែ by default របស់ R គឺវា apply 1.5 តោះវា
បាទលោកគួរអាចលើកឧទាហរណ៍ជាក់ស្ដែងតទៅមួយ data ដូចថាយើងជ្រើសយក outlier មិនយើងយក outlier ប៉ុណ្ណឹងចឹង
ភាគច្រើនសម្រាប់ outlier data ឧទាហរណ៍ដូចជាវាមានច្រើនខ្ញុំឲ្យខ្ញុំឧទាហរណ៍ជាក់ស្ដែងហ្មងក៏ខ្ញុំជាទៅដោយសារខ្ញុំអត់ដែលបានធ្វើ research ចំហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែបើសិនជាតើតោះ example ដែលខ្ញុំធ្វើពីច្រើនគឺ data point នៅក្នុង space មានថានៅក្នុង 3D dimension ព្រោះតែ data point ហ្នឹងវា based លើ distance អញ្ចឹងកាលណា data ណាក៏ដោយដែលយើងធ្វើការ apply ជាមួយ algorithm លើ distance យើងត្រូវតែ careful ជាមួយនឹង outlier តោះមានអញ្ចឹងមានថាវាអាចយក 1.5 តាមគេដោយសារយក 1.5 តាមគេឬក៏អាចយកតូចជាងហ្នឹងព្រោះតែដោយសារអីmethod ដែលយើងនឹងប្រើហើយនឹងធ្វើ classification ហ្នឹងគឺវា based នៅលើ distance calculation ហើយកាលណា distance calculation ដូចយើងដឹងស្រាប់ហើយdata point កាន់តែឆ្ងាយឧបមាថាខ្ញុំនិយាយថា1 2 3 4 5ឬក៏10 30 40 50តែដល់ពេលមានមួយនោះ100តែឯងឬក៏200តែឯង1000តែឯងអញ្ចឹងហ្នឹងឬក៏យើងអាចនិយាយថាវា too far in the distance អញ្ចឹងពេលហ្នឹងក៏យើងអាចយក reason ហ្នឹងដើម្បីខាត់អាហ្នឹងចោលបានដែរវា outlier ហើយអាហ្នឹងចេញមកខុសគេតែឯងអញ្ចឹង data ហ្នឹងគឺវាអត់មានន័យជួយបានសម្រាប់នៅពេលធ្វើ classification ទេអត់ឧទាហរណ៍មួយទៀតវាជា noise តទៅជាមួយនឹងអា sound recording ឧទាហរណ៍ថាសំឡេងខ្លះឮសូរតែខ្យល់ freq កង់វាលូតិចពេកបើយើងគិតពី freq កង់វាបើយើងគិតពីសញ្ញាឡូវាទាបខ្លាំងមែនតើអញ្ចឹងវាអាចថាមាន ratio ណាមួយដែលយើងគិតថា data ហ្នឹងវាជា noise ឧទាហរណ៍ដូចវិញខ្ញុំបរៀនពួកយើងអញ្ចឹងមានទាំងហៅឮអីចឹងទៅអាហ្នឹងមើលទៅវាអត់ឮសំឡេងខ្លាំងដូចសំឡេងខ្ញុំនិយាយអញ្ចឹងបើសិនយើងគិតពី data វាក៏ជា noise ដែរបើសិនយើង collect sound អត់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំអាចសុំ suggest ថា it based on your actual problem and you can find the reason and put it on that and it might be possible ចុះអញ្ចឹងវាអាច possible ដែលយើងដាក់ reason ហ្នឹងទៅហើយយើងយកវាទៅ train ហើយយកវាទៅធ្វើ classification ទៅវាអាច data ហ្នឹងវាអាច give provide accuracy បានល្អអូខេ
Okay. Cool.
លោកគ្រូខ្ញុំសុំសួរតកតងមួយ presentation តិចយើងធ្វើនឹងនៅអាទិត្យក្រោយក៏អាទិត្យក្រោយមួយទៀតហើយពួកខ្ញុំគួរអាទិត្យក្រោយមួយទៀត
yes
ហើយពួកខ្ញុំមក team present មួយអ្នកហើយរយៈពេលប៉ុន្មានដែរលោកគ្រូ
និយាយទូទៅគឺម្នាក់កន្លះម៉ោងយូរទាំងសួរទាំងអីជាង present តែ20នាទីទៅទាំងសួរអី5នាទី10នាទីទៅ
អញ្ចឹងមានន័យថាមួយ team កន្លះម៉ោង
ហ្នឹងហើយ
បាទអរគុណច្រើនលោកគ្រូ
wait I will declare to everyoneខ្ញុំដូចធ្វើបែបខ្ញុំដូចជាបាន okay here Marilyn okay ខ្ញុំចង់ download okay ពួកយើង Marilyn okay no it's okay let me do hello guys for the Indonesian student do you hear me hello hello for the Indonesian student actually I have created a group with the topic presentation on the algorithm if you don't have it if you don't have access to that file I will share it with Dr. Dona and Dr. Dona will forward it to you and we're going to have that presentation on the weeks after next week so you just prepare yourself first for the presentation and I have already divided your group into 2 groups already okay for master student I will announce for next week and I think I will find the topic first because the topics that I have is full now so I think I will try to find another topic and then create your group because I just got the group list name by this week on Tuesday and for year 5 student you can have the list group and follow the instruction and try to find the result first and from next week I will present you about K-NN algorithm and also the K-mean algorithm okay I think I would like to end our class early by today just half an hour because I have another meeting starting by 4:40 I think so thank you so much if you don't have any question we can end our session by here
ខ្ញុំសូម update assignment តាមពីបានអនុញ្ញាតថាខ្ញុំលោកមក update តាមតែ4អ្នកក្នុងអាទិត្យទៅខ្ញុំអត់បាន update តាមអ្នក
ស្ដាប់អត់ឮស្ដាប់អត់ឮ
គឺបាត់នេះខ្ញុំថាខ្ញុំចង់សូម update នៅ team assignment ដែលមានសមាជិក5នាក់ក្នុងមួយ team ហ្នឹងម្ដងទៀតនឹងបាទតែតាម ពេលអាប់ដេត4អ្នកក្នុងមួយធីមទៅអត់ទាន់គ្រប់គ្នា
ខ្ញុំបាន update list ហើយយើងបានចូលទៅមើលនៅយើងចូលទៅមើលនៅ Marilyn ខ្ញុំបានធ្វើ list ឲ្យអស់ហើយខ្ញុំ assign topic ឲ្យហើយខ្ញុំបានដាក់ instruction នៅខាងស្ដាំដែរយើងឃើញទេនេះខ្ញុំ share screen ឃើញ screen នោះមែន Hello Master ឃើញ screen នោះមែន
ហើយអត់ទាន់ឃើញ list ឈ្មោះ
ឃើញពួកយើងឃើញ screen នោះ share នេះ
ឃើញ
អូខេហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំបានទៅតាមហ្នឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាមិនបាច់ change ទៀតទេព្រោះតែអ្នកខ្លះមាន5នាក់អ្នកខ្លះមាន6លើកមុន4តែខ្ញុំគិតថា4ច្រើនគ្រប់ពេកខ្ញុំក៏ពិបាកដាក់ topic ដែរហើយដាក់ topic ពិបាកពេកទៅឬក៏អាចថាវាច្រើនពេកសម្រាប់ពួកយើងធ្វើការទៅក៏ដាក់6នាក់ឬក៏5នាក់អញ្ចឹងទៅអញ្ចឹងគ្នាយើងប៉ុណ្ណឹងនេះបើសិនជាគិតទៅយើងមានពេលចុងខែ12ហើយនឹងមួយខែមួយខែទៀតហើយចូលខែ2យើងមានពេលមួយអាទិត្យមុនប្រឡងអញ្ចឹងក្នុងមួយ session យើង present 2 group គឺអាចតន់អូខេអូខេអញ្ចឹងបើអត់មានចង្អុលអីទេពួកយើងអាច dismiss បាន if you don't have any question we can dismiss our class now អូខេ
លោកគ្រូក្នុងមួយ team យើងចាប់មួយអ្នកដើម្បីយកមក present
នៅក្នុងនេះខ្ញុំមានការងារច្រើនគួរសមទី1ធ្វើ presentation ទៅលើ algorithm sorry ទី1គឺយើងមាន algorithm មានថាយើងធ្វើ presentation ហើយ presentation លើ algorithm ហ្នឹងគឺបន្ទាប់ពីខ្ញុំបរៀនយើង KNN និង K-mean ហើយសិនមានន័យថាពេលខ្ញុំបរៀនហើយពួកយើងដឹង flow នៃការ present algo បន្តមកទៀតយើងរក research paper ដែល support ទៅលើ meta support ហើយអាចថាតើ paper ណាខ្លះដែលគាត់បានប្រើ method ហ្នឹងសម្រាប់ធ្វើ research របស់គាត់នៅលើ problem អីគេហើយនៅក្នុង slide presentation ហ្នឹងក៏និយាយពី presentation នៅលើ research paper ហ្នឹងដែរថា objective របស់គេធ្វើលើអីហើយគេ apply method ហ្នឹងដើម្បី deal problem អីគេ methodology អីគេហើយបន្តមកទៀតគេ result យ៉ាងណានៅពេលដែលគេ apply algorithm ហ្នឹងបើសិនជាមានបញ្ហាតើគេមានធ្វើ improvement អីអត់បន្តមកទៀតគឺ write ជា summary report មានន័យថា paper ដែលយើង select ហ្នឹង at least កុំឲ្យមួយអី2ទៅ3អីទៅមានថា at least 2 paper or 3 paper ហើយយើង summary វាមកថា paper ហ្នឹងគេចង់និយាយពីអីទៅស្អីពីអី result វាយ៉ាងណាតោះណាអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងគ្នាយើង6នាក់ហ្នឹងមានអ្នកធ្វើការគួរតែចែកគ្នាធ្វើបានហើយសិក្សាពី algorithm ទៅ search មើល internet ថាតើ paper ណាខ្លះដែលគេប្រើ algorithm ហ្នឹងដើម្បីយក handle problem អីគេហើយ result វាយ៉ាងណាមាន significant យ៉ាងណាហើយមាន improvement យ៉ាងណាអត់អូខេ
បាទលោកគ្រូ
លោកគ្រូខ្ញុំចង់សួរថាពេល present ហ្នឹងត្រូវ present ទាំងអស់សមាជិកក្នុងក្រុមក៏ឬក៏ present តែម្នាក់
ខ្ញុំឲ្យ depend លើពួកយើងចុះបើយើងចង់ present តែ2ទៅ3នាក់ក៏បានតែបើជាបទពិសោធន៍ខ្ញុំឆ្នាំមុន present ចែកគ្នា present ប៉ុន្តែវាអត់សូវ effective ហ្មងដែរប៉ុន្តែបើសិនឲ្យ present ទេខ្ញុំអត់ដឹងថាអ្នកណាធ្វើការហើយក៏អត់ដឹងថាតើអ្នកណាចេះធ្វើការងារអត់ខ្ញុំចង់និយាយទេតាមពិតវាអត់ពិបាកហ្មងទេតែសំខាន់ថាពួកយើង involvement ជួយការងារគេអត់ចង់អីចឹងណាកុំឲ្យថាធ្វើការជាក្រុមម្នាក់ឯងធ្វើការហើយអ្នកផ្សេងអត់ធ្វើអីចឹងទៅអញ្ចឹងផងចំណុចនេះខ្ញុំគិតថាឲ្យ present ចែកគ្នា present ទៅប៉ុន្តែត្រឹម2នាក់ទៅ3នាក់បានហើយប៉ុន្តែគ្រាន់នៅក្នុង slide ហ្នឹងអាចថា mention ថាតើម្នាក់ហ្នឹងគាត់ធ្វើកិច្ចការអីគេនៅក្នុង team ទោះបីជាគាត់អត់ present ក៏គាត់អាចធ្វើការគេក្នុង team ហើយពេលដែលសួរសំណួរគាត់អាចជួយឆ្លើយបានតែ present អត់ក៏បានដែរអូខេ
លោកគ្រូអាចមានជា reference សភៅឬក៏ឯកសារអីខ្លះបានដែរអត់
reference suppose សម្រាប់ presentation លើហ្នឹង
បាទលោកគ្រូបាទ
ខ្ញុំមានតែ slide សិស្សច្បងយកតាមទៅមិនដែរអត់ទេចាំពេលពួកយើងសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយខ្ញុំនឹងដូចវាជាក់អញ្ចឹងមិន present អាទិត្យក្រោយទេគឺអាទិត្យក្រោយមួយទៀតជឿអាទិត្យក្រោយមួយទៀតខ្ញុំចង់អាទិត្យក្រោយដូចជារៀនអត់អីទេខ្ញុំមកវិញតន់ខ្ញុំទៅខេត្តមកទៅអញ្ចឹងមានថាអាទិត្យក្រោយគឺយើងរៀនខ្ញុំបង្ហាញពីរបៀប to presentation លើ algorithm ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំ present K-mean ហើយនឹង KNN តែពួកយើងគឺសិក្សាពី naive អញ្ចឹងទៅចាំខ្ញុំផ្ញើតាម Telegram នៅក្នុង group ឬក៏ខ្ញុំនឹង upload ថាវាជា sample presentation របស់សិស្សច្បងយើងតោះណា Any question? So for Indonesia student, I would like you I will send the file of the list student with the group divided via Dr. Donna, and in the group presentation you will have a topic on the algorithm, and to present about that you have to make a slide presentation on the algorithm itself, and also try to find the research paper which apply that algorithm, and you have to you also have to present that paper, which means that the methodology they use, the problem, and also the finding on the papers, and if they have any significant result or any improvement on the method they use. So this is how we going to manage the presentation. So I will send you the list via Dr. Donna, and you will get it maybe tomorrow or at most next week, the latest date. Can you manage it out there? Hello? No, បើសិនជាអត់មានខ្ញុំនិយាយខ្លាំងជាង dismiss ប៉ុណ្ណឹង okay?
បាទលោកគ្រូ
ជំរាបលាលោកគ្រូ
Okay. So thank you so much for the class today, and have a good day, and our class will be dismissed by now. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you